My first time here in studio, Bob. You guys are
Ghost girlfriend.
And this is one of my favorite parts of amateur comedy. You get to use notes. You know what I mean? So I got some notes. I was going to talk about toys. Remember when I was growing up, you guys, similar to my age. So there's some older toys from back in the day you guys might remember. For instance, well, let's start another way. Let's start by saying I wasn't really a very popular kid. People didn't really like me. I was the kind of guy who would come back after summer and tell the kids at school, oh, I had an imaginary girlfriend over the summer, you know, but that wasn't even true. You know, the imaginary girl didn't even want to be with me, so that's kind of weird. So I ended up spending a lot of time with my buddy, the doll. I don't know if you guys remember my buddy, the doll. Kind of looked like Chucky. You know, then my parents wondered why I had insomnia. Like, why is he up all night? So that was weird. And so we'll skip this. I got a lot of stuff here, so I'm just going to go through the easy stuff. Earlier, you guys were talking about Cabbage Patch Kids, too. And I was thinking, I have that in this set, where there's this field somewhere that these children just grow or show up. And it's not what you think. It's a magical place where people are just abandoning their children. So you want to stay away from that, you know. But then I was more like a Garbage Pail Kid, to be honest. If you guys remember those, I wasn't really a Cabbage Patch, more of a Garbage Pail. Now I'm a Garbage Pail adult. You know what I mean? So it hit close to home for me. It made sense. Also, I played with a glowworm. I don't know if you guys remember those. And then I grew up and I just became an actual worm, you know? So, but also Rainbow Bright. You think, was she gay? I mean, the rainbow, right? It'd be weird to like be the figurehead of a cultural movement and not know it. You know, like the guy who invented meth, you know, changing everything. So, but you notice so far everything I've said was all dolls. I grew up with two older sisters. So the first time a boy came to my house, I was probably 5 or 6 years old. He came to the house and I was like, let's pretend like we're babies. And he goes, dead serious, he goes, couldn't we pretend like we're 19? So he kind of helped turn me around. So I started playing with action figures instead, which are just dolls for boys. You know, let's be honest. So, you know, you remember how it was. It would be, you'd have like G.I. Joe would save the Barbie from the Transformer, you know, and now your G.I. Joe's got PTSD, your Barbie's got body dysmorphia, and the Transformer, I think you probably know that one. I'm not sure I want to touch that one, so, but also that is a weird thing I thought about too. Why don't trans people call themselves Transformers? Because it's way cooler sounding, you know. But I used to also play a lot of He-Man dolls, He-Man, She-Ra, these gender-strong names, which are very out of context nowadays. I wonder what you would call like a hero, you know, like maybe, what's that? It's faster than a speeding bullet, able to jump tall buildings in a single bound. Look in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Super They. It doesn't have the same zip, I'll admit, you know. Or you know, Spider Them does whatever a spider identifies as, you know, stuff like that. So. Then I also played with pound puppies, which is cool because it facilitated a lot of people to get into rescue, which is a big deal nowadays, and I support that. But if the toy can make grown-ups do something, we should just make a likable president doll. You know what I mean? Because that's something we can actually use. And also the Care Bears. You know, I'm probably more into Don't Care Bears. You know, like a Fuck Off Bear or Leave Me Alone Bear. Then when I was researching the joke, I realized that there's a bear called Secret Bear. I was like, that sounds molesty as shit. I don't even like that. Show me on the bear where the bear touched you, you know what I mean? It's kind of uncomfortable. Also like Light Bright, if you don't know what that is, I'll illuminate you. It's a bunch of little lights you plug in to a board, you know? So, I'm not very bright, so I came up with that joke. And I think my favorite toy though growing up was Legos. And I still play with Legos as an adult now, and it's weird. It's like I can't get over it. I have a mental block or something. You know what I mean? And just worried one day it'll all fall to pieces. You know. But I was building the Legos, and I couldn't build myself a successful life or a personality, or really can't build a following doing this. So I'll just stick to the toys. Thank you guys.